So also, in addition to all the success and excitement around the Phillies winning, they are also winning in the All-Star voting. Make sure you guys go vote. You can do so on the Phillies
cast
website.
Her vote this morning with Addie over cereal.
What is it? Phillies.com/vote, I believe it is, where you guys can go vote yourselves.
/buildsubmarines.com.
Yeah.
So our own John Foley was putting out the updated numbers on the All-Star voting because the Phillies have never had more than 5.
They
And you
might.
can argue this season alone that they should have, in terms of pitchers, 3 or 4. But you look at where the numbers are currently. We have Bryce Harper and Alec Boehm top in voting for first baseman and for third baseman. JT Realmuto's number 2 for catchers. You also have Bryson Stott, number 3. They are leading the votes in a number of ways. Here's the overall vote leading for every position because William Contreras with the Brewers has been fantastic. Gets the number 1 for the catchers. You've got Bryce Harper and Freddie Freeman for first baseman. Alec Boehm and Manny Machado for third baseman. Ketel Marte and Luis Ariz for second. And then, of course, Bryson Stott is third overall for second baseman voting. Shortstops, Mookie Betts and Trey Turner leading the way. For DH, you've got Shohei Ohtani and Marcell Ozuna. Kyle Schwarber is next on the list for overall DH, as well as Rhys Hoskins. And then for outfielders, it's Jurickson Profar, Kristen Yelich, Teoscar Hernandez, Fernando Tatis Jr., Brandon Marsh, and Nick Castellanos that are leading the votes. Johan Rojas still is not far off for voting and actually is in that 7th overall for outfielders.
Where's Jackson Merrill? Come on, people. Do the right thing.
Get Elliot Ramos in the All-Star
Jackson
game.
Merrill.
Seriously.
Jackson Merrill is currently
Johan
16th.
Rojas and Nick Castellanos do not belong anywhere near the
You
top
have
of the
players
voting.
like Jackson Merrill, who's 16th for outfielders.
He deserves to be an outfielder.
Starling Marte, 18th. Adam Duvall, 17th. Jackson Churio and Corbin Carroll,
The
bottom
NL
of the
outfield
list.
stinks, is
Yeah,
my takeaway.
it's basically, Lourdes Gurriel, Cody Bellinger. So very interesting to see how the voting is rolling out. But you guys make sure that you continue to vote. Let's see how many Phillies we can send to the All-Star games.
Yeah, I would imagine with
year.
Mookie's injury, Trey's going to get the start. So you're going to have an infield on the NL All-Star game of Trey Turner, Alec Boehm, and Bryce Harper, and Ketel Marte. I would imagine JT is backing up Contreras, who rightfully deserves it. The guy's a machine. And then when you look at pitchers, which is Torey Lovolo's decision. Did I say that right? Lovolo? Yeah. I would imagine Strahm gets it because it was such an impressive streak. I feel like you kind of have to honor that. I think Zach Wheeler and Ranger Suarez are locks. I say Sanchez is deserving, but I don't think he's going to get it just because of like brand recognition.
Yeah, I don't know that he's as big of a name outside of
You can't have 9 Phillies because then you can make the case that Orion and Hoffman also deserve it.
I know.
So
basically,
you can legit
it should be
make
the Phillies versus the AL is what I get.
You could legit make a case for like 8 Phillies All-Stars.
I know.
But they're not going to get that. I think the most they get is 6, possibly 5. I think 5 would feel a little dirty.
I don't know.
I think they got to get 6.
When you're talking Bryce, Alec, Kyle.
Trey. Well, I don't think Kyle's got a shot.
That's true. Bryce, Alec, Trey, Zach,
JT,
Ranger.
Zach, Ranger is 6. And then I think Strahm has to get it.
Oh, man.
So
who do you not give it to out of that group?
I don't think one
JT
of the,
7 is crazy.
JT might not.
I don't think Realmuto's going to make it because at some point you're going to have to pick a player from a team that is not very good. So like Diaz, for example, from the Rockies could be their mandatory representative at the backup catcher spot.
JT's injured right now, and so he's not. So he might.
But he is the second leading vote getter.
He is the second leading vote getter. Correct.
Yeah, I know. It's probably going to be 6. You're probably right. JT probably gets left off, but I think Strahm has to get it.
I'm also not sure Strahm makes it because he's not a.
I don't know.
Because he's not a close. Listen,
26 innings.
I firmly believe he should be an all-star, but you know that it does tend to lean starters and closers.
Yeah, and Ray.
So listen, should Strahm be an all-star? 1,000,000% should be an all-star.
You're probably right.
And
but I
Ray is saying Kyle should be in the home run derby, not the all-star game.
Hell yeah, he should.
That's the thing. Like they should have representation across.
But
the board.
They'll probably get 6. I think is what.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think especially
which is a lot.
Again, it could be Phillies versus the AL.
Yeah.
Like this is really exciting times.